So it all started when I was looking for a date for our upcoming prom back in junior high. Coming from an all-girls school, I didn't know a lot of boys, and so there was a school concert, and I made sure to attend that one, and with the hopes of finding somebody to ask for the prom. While I was at the concert with my friends, I noticed a pretty face, and it was amidst a big crowd at the field. I told my friend, "Oh, he's kind of cute." And they said, "What? He's my classmate. Let me introduce him to you." He called Mark and he introduced him to me. He kind of ignored me. He smiled at me but didn't say anything. So I'm like, oh, he's rude.
My friends invited me to that event, but they didn't turn up. And so I ended up being there by myself. It wasn't a very enjoyable experience, but I was literally about to step out of the place and my friend stopped me, and that friend happened to be our common friend.
I honestly think it was destiny. We were destined to meet each other that night. The prom was very memorable. He went to pick me up from my house, and then we went to my school, and then we had romantic dinner. We danced the night away, actually too close that one of the ushers were stopping us because we were like, I don't know, it was just kind of embarrassing. I had braces on and he had like baggy pants.
The suit was literally like way too big for me. And
yeah, it was funny.
I can honestly say that at that point I was in love with her, but I was probably way too young then to actually make sense out of it.
He was just too quick, and I'm like, whoa, I only wanted a prom date, not someone to fall in love with.
And just before we said goodbye, I said I love her, I love you. And didn't go down too well.
It was probably my first time to encounter somebody that's already saying I love you after just 2 days?
Oh yeah, 2 days,
yeah.
Or one night of prom.
Yeah.
So a year after prom, that was 2007, my family migrated to New Zealand. We were really in bad terms. Like we were not talking, and if we did talk, we were like arguing all the time. I went back to the Philippines for holidays in 2009, and we kind of like reconnected, and that's how it all started. Like I definitely realized I wanted to marry her when I went back to the Philippines in 2009 for the first time. During our date, our first encounter after so many years, that was the eureka moment for me. And I'm like, prior to that, I was a different guy. I went back to New Zealand a changed man, and my parents were like, what happened to you there? Because you came back a different guy. So I told them I met the girl that I want to marry.
And after that was a very long distance relationship.
Yeah, to be exact, it's 5 years of long distance.
And I prayed for somebody that would really care for me and not just be my boyfriend temporarily. After a few years, I finally said I love you, didn't hold back, and that's when I realized I want to marry this guy.
Probably the hardest part of this whole thing is asking her parents, because her parents are probably like the most like traditional Filipino parents ever. Like,
hi Papa and Mama, if you're watching.
I knew from the get-go I was gonna do it, but it's just a matter of like having enough courage and strength to actually go through with it. So yeah, I took them out for dinner. I only expected it to be like an hour for supper, but it wasn't the case. The restaurant had to close and we had to go home to their place, and I got interrogated for probably 4 more hours after that.
You did well.
And I think I did well, yeah. And even if they said no, I would have gone ahead anyway.
Yeah.
And so when the day came, November 18th, we went to Banff. The first night was like, I think she was expecting it, that I was gonna propose over supper, but I had other plans in mind. We went up to the Banff gondola and I looked for a spot there where we could I could propose and nobody's there. The moment the last person left, I was like, this is it. I knelt, took the ring out, and then she was surprised, and I got the photo of the century, I guess.
Yes.
For Corinne, she's a tough woman. I don't know where I'd be without her, because I'm usually a shy guy, but she gives me strength and she gives me confidence. And that that's her characteristic. She's a confident, strong woman. She's Miss Independent, or soon to be Mrs. Independent. But yeah, I love her courage. I love her so much.
Well, he's a complete package. He's responsible and he's very hardworking. He's also very prayerful, which I admire so much. And he makes me laugh. Like, his dry humor gets me all the time, and I just love it when I'm having stressful days. Just hearing his lame jokes or like the funny remarks that he always give. I'm like, oh, he's so funny, and I just can't live without him.